word of the word reads as follows. Now a king arose over Egypt who did not know Joseph. He said to his people, look, the Israelite people are more numerous and more powerful than we. Come, let us deal shrewdly with them, or they will increase. And in the event of war, join our enemies and fight against us and escape from the land. Therefore they set taskmasters over them to oppress them with forced labor. They built supply cities, Phanom and Ramesses for Pharaoh, but the more they were oppressed, the more they multiplied and spread, so that the Egyptians came to dread the Israelites. The Egyptians became ruthless and posing tasks on the Israelites and made their lives bitter with hard service and mortar and brick and in every kind of field labor. They were ruthless in all the tasks that they imposed on them. The king of Egypt said to Hebrew midwives, one of which was named Shaphat and the other Push, when you act as midwives to the Hebrew women and see them on the birth stool, if it is a boy, kill them, for it is a girl that she shall live. The word of God, for the people of God, we say thanks be unto God. Just for a few moments, my brothers and my sisters, I want us to focus upon this subject, just push through. Just push through. One summer, a young couple moved into their California dream home with much excitement and great satisfaction. Couple loved everything about their new home. They loved the spacious floor plan, the wooden floors throughout the house, the high ceilings in every room, and even the tall carved doors. But their favorite part of all was the great view they had while sitting at the kitchen table or the beautiful backyard landscaped with trees and flowered bushes and a large water fountain. Although the home was perfect, the one thing the couple wanted to change about their new home was some roses that the previous owner had planted in a shady spot in the backyard. Underneath a tall tree with wide branches grew hybrid tea roses that weren't doing so well due to the lack of sunlight caused by the shady tree. So one day, the young couple dug up the roses, threw them out, and put a granite path over the former home of the suffering roses. But sometime later, to the great surprise of the couple, a little rose sprout came up through the path made out of rock. Through granite, a rose grew, having to break through a surface so hard that it normally takes equipment to break up a rose grew. The rose grew not because of the love and care it received from the young couple who had discarded them in the first place. The rose did not grow because of the nourishment it received from the sun's rays, but the rose grew because the rose was determined to push through. So it is, my brothers and my sisters, while serving as a backdrop of why God commissioned a servant named Moses to deliver God's people out of the hands of Pharaoh, the text this morning is the introduction to the story about the people of God who, like the rose sprout, was determined to push through. This introductory portion of the book of Exodus serves for us on this morning an extraordinary example of how to survive even in the midst of oppressive situations. This story of how the descendants of Jacob grew and multiplied and survived while circumstances attempted to prevent them from being who God had destined them to be can serve for you and I as a frame of how to respond to situations that's strategically designed to hinder us from being a people who live determined to push through. But the reality is that even as believers of God, followers of Jesus Christ, proclaimers of the Gospels, teachers of the Word, we all at one time or another have had to deal with external situations that were designed to prevent us from being all that God has destined us to be. The truth is, the reason why so many of us remain in places of unhappiness, discontentment, and dissatisfaction is because at one time or another, we allow an oppressive circumstance to block our divine ability to push through. Am I talking to somebody in the house this morning? But I believe this text for today can show us how to push through even when times get rough. I believe today we can learn to push through even when we're faced with hindering circumstance. How to push through even with troublesome situations. How to push through even with sidetracking conditions. There's anybody in the house that knows that you and I have the ability to push through. You can push through, my brothers and my sisters, by remembering where you've been. It's in verse 8 says, "Now there arose a new king over Egypt who did not know Joseph." My brothers and my sisters, the text informs us that years after Joseph died, a new king ruled over Egypt who did not know the godly servant named Joseph. Now granted, since the death of Joseph, many years had passed and many kings had ruled, but one might still question how a king whose job was to know the history of the land he rules not know of a man named Joseph. How could a king not have heard stories of a man whose position within a former king's house assisted his people through a devastating famine, not know a man named Joseph? How could a ruler in such a powerful position not know the one responsible for Israelites present in Egypt in the first place? But after years of being ruled by kings from foreign lands, the text says a new king arose who did not know Joseph. Perhaps as a native Egyptian, this new king disdained the fact that a people with cultural ties to a Joseph who was a foreigner was great in number. Perhaps this new king did not care for the fact that a people from a different culture, people from a different place, people from a different faith, people with a different history outnumbered native Egyptians. Yes. So with a desire to solidify control into the hands of native Egyptians, this new king chose not to acknowledge who Joseph was. In essence, this new king was on a political campaign to make Egypt great again. Wow. This king did not know Joseph because this king did not want to know Joseph. Wow. For to not acknowledge who he was to not acknowledge the greatness of those who were now under his oppressive control. A false claim to not know Joseph was to not acknowledge a people who had a history of pushing through. The reality is, my brothers and my sisters, people will intentionally disregard our history in hopes of gaining control over who we are. People will attempt to erase from their memory banks what we have been through with a desire of gaining control of what we do and how we behave. Some will attempt to forget where you've been and what you've overcome for the purpose of trying to lessen the amount of control you have over your own life. Am I talking to somebody? But what they don't realize is that God's people have a history of pushing through. What some don't want to acknowledge is that we have a track record of not allowing our circumstances to dictate how we walk and how we talk. What some don't want to acknowledge is that over days also can push through by recognizing our reality. Verse 9 says, and he said to his people, behold, the people of Israel are too many and too mighty for us. The text is clear that over the years, the people of Israel had grown in number. In 430 years, God's people had grown to be a great nation. But when the people of God initially crossed over into Egypt, they numbered about 70. But now over 2 million of God's people lived among the Egyptians. Who they were now was not who they used to be. They used to be a small people in number viewed as a now threat. But now the text says there were too many and too mighty for the people of Egypt. And so with the responsibility of overseeing the military concerns of his people, the new king realized that sometimes strength comes in number. Attempting to invoke fear within the Egyptians, the king drew their attention to the fact that the Israelites were many in number, therefore had the ability to overtake them at any moment. His view of who they were, a large, mighty nation, dictated a response of fear and preparation. Who they were could not be ignored. Their presence could not be overlooked. So the king sought to oppress the people of God, all because he just saw how great and mighty they were. My brothers and my sisters, oppression is not about suppressing people that are inferior, but stopping people who are great and mighty. Chains are not used to imprison those who are weak, but are used to restrain those who are mighty and strong. And that is exactly why, my brothers and my sisters, we are often faced with oppressive situations. For anytime someone sees just how great and just how mighty we are, the fear of our greatness overtakes them, will provoke them to prepare for battle. Although we don't like to put much attention to it, the reality is there are forces and there are evil people and there is evil control over other than God's power that recognizes just how great and how mighty we are. And the acknowledgement of who we are will provoke a response of fear, causing others to attempt to restrain you for operating in your greatness. That's why you got haters in your life. That's why you got blockers in your life. It's not because they don't think you can, it's because they know you can. The reason why certain laws are created, policies are formed, walls are built, votes are suppressed, faces are painted, shots are fired, and people of color are denied, is because people recognize, fear you because you are great and you are mighty. But when we recognize for ourselves just how great and just how mighty, we're being able to push through. Other people in the house this morning, who can share on today, when I look on the mirror, I see somebody with greatness in my life. Are there any saints in the house who believe without a shadow of a doubt, because you hate you, because they hate you, because they try to block you, you are great and mighty in all your ways. And because you are great, and because you are mighty, you stand firm, ready to push through. Are there a couple people in the house who are ready to push through because you recognize your reality? But lastly, you can push through, you and I can push through because we have the ability of seeing into our future. The more they were oppressed, it says, the more they multiplied, and the more they spread abroad. And the Egyptians were in dread of the people of Israel. My brothers and my sisters, the fear of who the Israelites would become was what caused the Egyptians to oppress them. They saw who they were. And because they saw who they were, they knew who they currently were was the evidence of who they were to become. And so, my brothers and my sisters, the more others attempt to restrain them, the more God's people grew in number. The more people tried to keep them down, the more the people of God rose up strong and mighty. Even in the midst of an oppressive situation, the people of God continued to grow and continued to multiply across the land, even while others sought to stop them from being who God had destined them to be. The more they were determined to push through to be all who God had called them to be. God's promise of fruitfulness could not be hindered, stopped, or delayed because the people of God were determined to be who God had intended them to be. Despite what situations came their way, they pushed through. Despite what others tried to do to them, they pushed through. They were determined not to allow their condition of existence to prevent them from walking in the promises of God. God's people had no control over who oppressed them, but they certainly had control to be determined not to allow their oppression to define their future. So the more they were oppressed, the more they pushed through. The more they tried to enslave them, the more they pushed through. The people of God pushed through because they recognized that God was on their side. My brothers and sisters, the more the Egyptians attempted to break their spirits, the more they tried to lock them down, the more they tried to hinder them, the more they tried to suppress them, the more they tried to block them, the people of God just kept pushing, and they kept pushing.